Hey guys, hope you're doing well. It's Ryan here with DP Marketing Services. Thanks for tuning in. As you know, we work with HVAC and plumbing contractors all across the state or all across the country. We got clients in Canada and Australia and everywhere. It's awesome. We love working with contractors just like you, help them figure out how to maximize their lead flow, grow more business, make more money, which is why we're all doing what we're doing. So, coming at you today with something we've recently we're fortunate we can travel a lot. We have a large platform, lets us speak at a lot of trade groups. Chances are we met one of you there, where we're speaking with contractors. We're getting to talk about their business and what's working with them and what their challenges are. And we're finding, and it makes sense, a lot of shops, especially like the growing ones, right? The ones that maybe started off a few years ago as a one-man shop and then ended up hiring a helper and then growing a little bit larger and then growing a little bit larger. So these are shops that are like under 10 million a year, right? So if you're 10 million plus, you might not relate to some of the struggle. If you're under 10, this seems to be really common. And essentially, it's kind of this idea where let's be honest. You guys are tradesmen. You guys know your trade really well. You know how to repipe a bathroom in your sleep. You know how to design and spec a system without thinking or trying, right? That's what you're good at. The issue is that when you start growing, the phone starts ringing more, you start having to have more guys in the field. It's that transitioning for somebody who's just a tech in a van doing work to a person who's actually running a business. So an example we use a lot. I don't think I have the book. No. Okay, so there's a book. If you like to read, there's a book called The E-Myth. In The E-Myth, there's a great kind of metaphor of a woman who's a baker. She loves to bake cakes. And every Christmas, every holiday, every family event, everyone in her family says, please, 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 just make the cake. You're such a good baker. We'd love it if you just make a cake for, my daughter for her birthday or for my bake sale at church or whatever. So she makes a cake, and then over time, people start saying, "You know what? You're such a good baker. You should own your own bakery. Like that would be amazing if you had your own bakery." And so, she thinks about it. She goes in the business, and then really quickly after opening the bakery, she realizes that being a good baker and knowing the ingredients and knowing how to proportion things and knowing how to ice a cake and knowing all those things involved with making a good cake, it's different than being someone who understands how to run a bakery, right? Where you have employees to manage, you have inventory to control, you have marketing that you always have to do to get a pipeline of new business. In a lot of ways, you running your shop is very, very similar to a person running a bakery. You are a great baker, right? You know how to bake your cake. The trick is transitioning you from being someone who knows how to bake a cake to someone who knows how to run a bakery. And so that's something we like to work with guys on, because what happens, especially with us, like the clients we work with, we're so fortunate because we get great results. These guys grow faster than they actually think that they were going to. They have record-breaking revenue years, month after month after month after month. And at some point, the business starts scaling outside of their ability to just be a person in a van or even one of several people in a van. So we want to work with them and coach them on how to actually learn to become someone who runs a business, not works in the business, but works on the business. One of the most difficult things for guys to do, we found, is to actually build a team, trust a team, hold the team accountable, and know that your team is actually what's helping your business become the money-making machine that it is. When you're a young shop, when it's just you or maybe a couple guys, everyone's doing everything. So if everything makes better sense with a sports metaphor, when you're a startup, when you are a guy in a van, you're a golf team, right? Your score that you put on the board, it's your score. That's it. If you don't hit it, if you don't do a good job, it shows on the board. And that's all you have to blame. Eventually you grow, you get a few people, and then you become like a basketball team. So now you have 5 people, you're playing offense and defense. You might have some guys who are good at something else. You might have some guy who's good at sales, some person who's good at, answering the phone. but really everybody's doing everything all the time, and you're having to communicate nonstop, right? Just to make sure that nobody loses the ball in the process. We see a lot of contractors struggle with that stage, with becoming a basketball team. It is a real stage. It's something that's important. But at this point, you're not sitting on the bench coaching. At this point, you're probably still in the van, and you're having to communicate well with other people in other vans doing other types of work. That's a hard spot to be. But eventually, you grow and you become like, let's say, a football team. A football team is a great example because you have in the U.S. If you're watching this somewhere else, sorry. In the U.S., you have 11 guys on both sides of the ball. You have specialists now. So you have a quarterback who's calling a play and throwing passes. Never in a million years is this dude going to be chop blocking a lineman. Never in a million years is this guy going to be trying to run a route. A quarterback, his job is to lead the team, throw a pass. You have other guys who their job is just to run fast and catch the ball, right? They'll never have to do serious blocking. That's their only job, is to run as fast as you can, run the direction we tell you to run, and then catch the ball. That's it. You have specialists. Not everyone's playing both sides of the ball. And then as a head coach, here's where it gets crazy. As a head coach, you're probably doing the least amount of one-on-one coaching than ever before. Now you're coaching coaches. So you're the head coach, and you have an offensive line coordinator, you have a quarterback coach, you have special teams coach, you have all these other coaches who are actually coaching the players, and your job is to coach the coaches. So part of building this is for you not only to learn to manage your own training and your own skills and your own acumen and raise yourself up to learn more than just the trade. Learn more than just how to bake a cake, but learn how to grow and build and manage a business. One of the best ways to do this earlier on, like so when you're younger, is to, since your team is doing all the work, is to celebrate your wins as a team. Let these guys who give their nights, their weekends, who are literally working in the hot, sweat, mud, rainy, damp, cold, crappy conditions, they're doing it day in and day out for you so that you can have record sales months, so that you can go take a vacation with your spouse. When you have a great performing month, if you've never in a million years hit a six-figure month and that first month you hit six figures, celebrate as a team. Celebrate. The first time you start having $4, $5, $6 million years, those thresholds are huge. Celebrate. Not just yourself. Don't just take you and your significant other out to steak dinner. Do that. That's important. But your team is what helps you make this possible. So build, invest, nurture your team. When you invest and nurture your team, they will walk through fire for you. When you feel like, and you treat your team like what they do matters, they will do anything to help you succeed. Take care of your team. And it's a simple, by the way, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. One of the shops we work with, he just had 2 record-breaking months in a row. He invited his team and all their families and friends over to his house at a swim party, cooked some barbecue, just had a good old time. That goes a long way to helping each one who's a part of your company to feel a part. Even though it's that easy. It's that easy to go and buy ribs and open up your house. For your team, it means the world to feel that you recognize the hard work and you want them to do more. So for whatever that's worth, think about this. Think about how do you grow your team? How do you build your team? How do you create that sort of engagement? And I'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment below. Let us know what your challenges and struggles are in your business. How have you learned to overcome like this sort of growth curving, of learning to be a baker, but then run a bakery? I'd love to hear about your story. Let us know. In fact, if you have a cool story, I'd love to get you on one of these videos. Maybe we call you up, do a little screen share or something, and we hear directly from you. So I hope this was helpful. Think about it. Let us know what you thought. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And we'll talk to you next time. Thanks, guys.